Today I'm going to sous vide a steak, and this steak is from Paso Prime. It's a grass-fed beef from California. It's supposed to be really good, and I'm going to give it a try. Anyway, but I'm going to use the method of cooking this to ensure that I can really taste the steak. I'm going to use a method called sous vide. Sous vide is cooking, essentially you put it in a vacuum bag and you cook it in water, and it's precisely controlled at the temperature of the water. So I'm going to cook this steak to 133 degrees all the way through. There's not going to be a layer that's overdone, a layer that's not quite there, and it averages out to what I want. No, we're going to have it through and through. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I've got my asparagus here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the woody ends. I'm not going to throw these away. I'm going to save these because they go in the stock. Every time I trim asparagus, somebody always makes the comment to save those. Just wanted to point out that yes, I do save them because they are really good. Now, we're going to take our asparagus and we're going to put it in a bag. You want to try to make a single layer. Because you want as much contact with the water as you can get. Now, we're going to take some butter. Put some butter in here. Go. Put you off to the side. We're going to seal our asparagus. Knock you down, both sides. Okay, our asparagus is ready. Now we're going to do our steak. Okay, so the first thing I want to do with my steak is I want to dry it off. I want to get it dry. That way when I vacuum seal it, I don't get a bunch of stuff stuck in my sealer. There we go. Now we're going to pat this dry. Make sure this thing's good and dry. There we go. Now we're going to put a little salt and pepper on each side. Flip you over. Now we're going to place this into a bag. Now I'm going to put some garlic and rosemary on each side of the steak. And then we're going to vacuum seal this steak. Alright, so now my steak's ready. It's ready to go in. But it's not quite time to put it in, so we're going to set it off to the side for just a couple minutes. Anyway, I've got my rack here. Put my asparagus in it. I have the sous vide machine here set at 185 degrees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this rack in here with the asparagus. We'll make sure that goes under the water good. And then we're going to let this go for 4 minutes. Okay, my time is up. Now what I want to do is I need to reduce this temperature of the water to stop the asparagus from cooking. So I'm going to add some water in here. And that should drop the temperature. A little more. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the temperature. I'm going to set it for cooking my steak. And I want to go to 133. And what this will allow me to do is it'll allow me to hold my asparagus and keep it warm, but it's not really cooking anymore because it's too low of a temperature for cooking asparagus. There we go. Start. So now we're down to 172. Anyway, we're going to let this temperature come down, then we'll put our steak in there. Okay, so our time's up. We're going to go ahead and we'll turn the machine off. Not that we have to do that. Take the lid off. We're going to take out our packages. Here's our steak. And our asparagus. Okay, we'll take our steak out from the package. Take off the rosemary and the garlic. We're going to pat our steak dry. Set this off to the side. Take our asparagus out. We're going to plate it. And remember, we did not put any salt on the asparagus, so it needs some. Put a little bit on the plate. Sprinkle a little bit here on the asparagus. Kind of mix it around. Okay, pan's getting hot. Go ahead and we'll turn that heat up a little bit. I'm gonna add some oil. Make sure our pan and our oil both are hot. Because all we're going to do is sear the outside just so that the steak looks pretty and it gets a nice little texture on the outside of it. You don't have to do this. I mean, the steak is safe to eat at this point. It's just that it looks a lot more appetizing and it's a lot more familiar. Electric burner, we'll go ahead and turn that off, and then it'll stay hot. There we go. Take the pan off the heat. We'll put our steak on the plate. And there's what it looks like. So the real question is, how does everything taste? Well, this asparagus, I mean, it looks kind of limp, but when you bite into it, it's got a nice crunchy core. So I'm really happy with the asparagus. And that cooking time was short because the asparagus was pretty thin. If you got thicker asparagus, I'd probably go a couple, like maybe 5 minutes instead of 4. Now this steak is cooked medium rare all the way through, and let's see. Oh man, You have to try this. And if you get a chance to get some Paso Prime beef, you got to try that too, because this grass-fed beef is amazing.